Hi boys and girls, and welcome to lesson 10 for your math lesson. We are going to be comparing unit fractions by reasoning about their size using fraction strips. Okay, so there's two vocabulary words that I want to introduce to you right now. You've seen these before for sure in previous grades and actually I think in previous lessons, but I wanted to just remind you of them. So we have greater than, and with this symbol. Okay, we call these symbols a little like caret, and that is pointing this way. Okay, and we have a less than, where it's pointing that way. All right, and one way that I use to always help me remember is that the hungry alligator eats the bigger number. So I know that the hungry alligator chomps the bigger number, and he chomps the bigger number. So if it's greater than, it starts, and if it's less than, then it is on the other side. Okay, so that's just like my trick for remembering how something is bigger, is greater than, or less than. Okay, so we're going to think with fractions, whether this fraction is greater than or less than 1 whole. So we have 3 halves, 3 halves is greater than 1 whole, because 1 whole would be 2 over 2. Okay, we have 1 half. Take a minute. What do you think it is? Less than. Yes. Okay, 5/4. Well, we know that 5, the numerator, is greater than the denominator, so we know that it's going to be greater than a whole, 1 whole. Okay, 3/4 is less than 1 whole. Okay. 3/7. You got it, less than. Okay, 5/3. If you said greater than, you are correct. And 5 halves. If you said greater than, you are correct. Okay, so we're going to do this application problem. Make sure you get a paper and pencil so you can practice this. Make sure you pause the video when I finish explaining. Okay, so we want to make sure that... Okay, so Sarah makes soup. She divides each batch equally into thirds to give away. Each family that she makes soup for gets 1/3 of the batch. Sarah needs to make enough soup for 5 families. How much soup does Sarah give away? Write your answer in terms of batches. Okay, this is a bit of a tricky problem, so we want to make sure that we are circling and underlining the important information. Okay, so she divides each batch equally into thirds. Okay, that's important. Each batch equally into thirds to give away. Each family that she makes gets soup for 1/3. So they get 1/3 of the batch, each family. I'm actually going to say that because it's each family. Sarah needs to make enough soup for 5 families. That is important. So how much soup does Sarah give away? That's our question. So I'm underlining that. All right. Now, go ahead, pause the video, and try and solve this problem. Okay, so you should have realized that if she's breaking these up into thirds, then she's made 3 batches, or batch 1, and she divided it into 3, and she had to make a second batch and gave away 2 of those. So how much soup does Sarah give away? Sarah will give away 5/3 batches of soup. All right. So when we're making fractions with circles, it's really important that I always visualize it as a pizza. So I have to cut my pizza up into triangles because I'm never going to cut it with I would never cut my pizza like this because that's not even. Right? And we need to make sure that we are evenly distributing our pieces. Okay? So when we break up a circle, we have halves. Okay? 1, 2. We can have fourths or quarters. Okay? We can have eighths. Okay? We can have thirds. And we can have sixths. All right, so that's one way to make sure that you are really breaking up your circles. Notice here that you've got halves, which are written like 1/2. You have fourths, which the unit fraction is 1/4, and eighths. Okay, what do you notice about each of these denominators? They're all even. Okay, and with the other circle here, we've got 1/3, and we have 1/6. These are not, well, this one's even, but 1/3 is not even. Okay, but notice that we have just multiplied it by 2. So we've got 3 times 2 is 6. We've got 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay. All right. The more pieces that you cut your shape into, the smaller the piece is. And that means that the larger the denominator, the smaller the slice. Okay, so if you notice here, you've got eighths, and you have a smaller slice than you would for sixths. Okay, so remember that vocabulary. We've got greater than and less than. Okay, we are going to circle less than or greater than. Whisper the complete sentence. All right, we've got 1/2 is than 1/3. Yes, greater than. Okay, go over to B. 1/9 is than 1/2. Oh, sorry, we went on to C. All right, so 1/4 is less than 1/2. All right, we're going to go down. So 1/5 is less than 1/3. 1/2 is greater than 1/5. Do B now up here. 1/9 is than 1/2, less than. 1/4 is greater than 1/9. 1/5 is than 1/4, less than. And here's a tricky one. We have 6/5 is than 3/3. I want you to take a moment and think about this. You know that 3/3 is 1 whole, and 6/5 is more than 1 whole. So therefore, 6/5 is greater than 3/3. Okay, what you are going to do today in your classwork page is, I'm just going to explain it to you really fast. When you are working on this, you have your fraction strips here. Okay, they are all equal sizes and they've been divided equally. You need to color in 1 fractional unit for each strip. I have colored these for you. I've done the shapes. You need to drag the shape over to the one that fits. You notice that it doesn't fit in the eighths. Does it fit in the thirds? Nope. Does it fit in the halves? No. Does it fit in the fourths? Yes. Okay, you can drag it and put it in there. Okay. The other one that you get to do is, again, just like we did in our concept development, is circle less than or greater than. You can drag this circle over to the one that belongs, okay? And just drag the circles over for you, okay? So that is your job. Same for this one. For number 4, it says use greater than, less than, or equal to compare. I have them here for you. You just have to click it and drag it in. Okay? Like that. So that's all you have to do. And yeah, okay. So I hope that you enjoyed this math lesson, and good luck.